Welcome back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video. I am not alone. As you can see on the screen here, I didn't get first place. Someone else got first place. That is good old Nathan. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
How about you introduce yourself, where you're from, what you did, all that.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Nathan. I placed first at the Springfield Collectomaniacs 1K PPG Invitational with Android 16.
Yes, and yes, this is probably one of, I mean, it was bad timing. Let's just be real. The Philly regional just came along, and then the PPG regional came along, and they're like, let's just focus on the PPG regional. So I'm trying to.
It was quite a loaded weekend. Yeah.
yeah. A lot of DBS, a lot of good card games. You know,
Yes.
a lot of card singing. But I definitely wanted to put some more attention on the event itself, yourself, and as well as Android 16, because you know any successful Android 16 or Android deck, I definitely want to put it out there. So first thing, let's just talk about the deck itself and why you took it. We kind of talked about it already, right? We already said it's pretty similar as far as the main deck from other 16 decks. We kind of already know what it does. For those who don't know, you know, you swing, you draw 2 cards when you pitch blue or green android, 5 or more energies, you awaken, and then you get a free arrival card, right? But what can you tell me about the list, if anything?
I mean, yeah, it is pretty much just like the standard list. I mean, I think like right now, as far as the meta goes, really just the main deck. The deck just has answers to pretty much every other deck right now.
Yeah,
that was one of my big reasons to taking this as opposed to like something else. I have been toying around with Gamma, and I do plan on playtesting with that more, but just with my comfortability and everything, that's why I decided to stick with 16 for this event.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it does have a good amount of what should we call it, answers, just between removal, between defense, between free stuff, blue stuff, and the one set 17 card. So technically, hey, you can say it's a set 17 deck, right?
Yeah.
Or say, how often did this come up, if anything? The team attack?
A few times, actually. So why I really like the one of like you have it like in your hand and everything. On that turn, it just makes you feel more safe tapping out on that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like some people will see like, oh, you're tapping out, that must mean you must have the Hatchiyak. So that might force your opponent to also play a little bit more reserved, whenever in fact really the only thing you have is an untap super combo.
Yeah.
Which even then, that just gets me an energy back to make plays on my opponent's turn after I've taken advantage of all my energy on my turn.
Yeah, I mean that just kind of enables you to have even more defense, enables you to arrival, whether it's the restanding blocker, the boy who makes you discard to pop something, etc. Right? So, and you can always bean. You know, just untapping and then beaning is just broken. So let's talk about since all this is kind of the same outside of the set 17 card. Let's talk about the sideboard. Can you take me through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say I have like some of, you know, a few of the same picks that you'd see, like the Android 18 counterplay. A lot of decks now have the counter attacks that are just floodgates now, and they all reduce their cost. Android 18 can easily just bottom deck those to get rid of them, keep your plays going on that turn. You put in the Android 21 villainous card. Just field wipe anything that, you know, decides to build a big board. Like if you're scared of AOD, if AOD is a thing, you know, just get rid of all their cards that they try to build up. Kusu, just another really good card for blue green. Could either just pay 1 combo and make your opponent discard a card, or tap 2 to counterplay, get rid of a 6 cost or less, and also make your opponent a discard. It's really good.
And a 15k body, of course.
Yeah, 15k body as well. Go to the 17 and 18 siblings revived. That is just in like either mirror matches or other games against blue, where you're going to have a long, drawn out, grindy game, and you're going to be able to get yourself to 8 energy. It's just a really good secondary boss card to have.
Okay.
Where I think I differ a little bit. Now, I know some people do know about the tech for Tapion, the Unison.
Is it the whatchamacallit, this auto or not this auto, the actual auto, or are you talking about the activate main?
It's the -2 activate main, where I have seen some other blue lists put it in, and what it does, you just choose one of your opponent's battle cards, negate its skills, and place it like underneath this card. So what I use this against is, say someone's playing a Wish Zamasu, could get rid of their dude that has the indestructible on it, and Aegis, just negates that skill, gets it off the field. Also against any other yellow that is playing the Golden Frieza, that also says cannot be removed.
Oh, the 5-drop.
Yes, the 5-drop Golden Frieza.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep, negate its skills, take it off the board. Also, in the Sin Shinron matchup, if they have any of their big 9-drops out, that say whenever they are removed, they play a ball and draw 2, why not just take that off the field and they don't get any of that?
Yeah, that's super strong for sure.
Yeah,
those all of those applications are super good, especially even if you're going against the mirror. So if you're going against green or the mirror, Didi's Wrath is gonna be an annoying card to deal with, so might as well just take that one out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool,
and with it not having any type of energy restriction on what it could take, it could also just take any other problem card off the field that you feel is going to be a problem.
Right, and blue doesn't really have that much spot removal, just like on demand, I should say. It's really hard. It's pretty scarce, I should say, especially since this is just 2 energy. So that's pretty good. Cool. And now we have the Kaba. Of course, this quote unquote ignores barrier. So did you use it for that or for something else?
Yeah, that is the exact reason why I had Kaba in there, and that's also why I, whenever we get to the King Vegeta Unison, those are the reasons why I use that as well. Because the one thing this deck doesn't really have is removal for barrier. Yeah,
definitely.
So that's why I went with that option. Also, Kaba, if I'm going against any hand destruction, I could also just play it on my turn to draw me 2 cards back.
Okay, cool. And then of course the King Vegeta, which does require 3 green, but I don't think that's too big of a deal when you have all the 16s to charge, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, overall pretty interesting. Of course, like I said, not too different from other 16 decks. But I think that's also kind of a testament of like how good this deck is, and it might be the next Sin Shenron for blue. Like, it's just gonna be here for like 10 different formats, and no one's gonna say anything. So that's pretty cool.
It has that potential. It all depends on what Zenkai brings us next set.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So why did this deck, other than it just has a good matchup? That's basically what it is. Because we said Gamma. You were looking at Gamma, but you kind of shifted over to this. Were you looking at other decks as well?
Yeah, so like decks I've been like toying around with. I mean, I am primarily a blue player, so I play pretty much, if a blue deck comes out, I will be playing it at some point in time. So of course, with it being the new shiny toy, I've been wanting to, been messing around with Gamma, but I think just what kept me from playing it is just my comfortability with it. I like to make sure I know a lot of the ins and outs of the decks I play whenever I take it to bigger events.
Okay, so you might see Gamma from you later on, is what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. It does require a little bit of practice, and especially since there's a few more cards you can actually tech in and make a difference in that deck versus this one. So yeah. Let's talk about matchups. So there's 5 rounds and then top 8 cut. So how was that?
It went very well. Like for me during it all. I went undefeated throughout the whole night. Didn't drop a round in Swiss, and took it all through finals. So it was all pretty good. My round 1, I played against one of our local guys who was playing the Super Saiyan God Trunks.
Okay.
I didn't really for me, it wasn't too bad of. I don't think 16 has that bad of a matchup to Super Saiyan God Trunks, especially now that they don't have 4 thwartings that they could put to their deck or any of the other big overwhelm cards that were a problem. So it's really just easy for me to keep my board I'm building and just kind of aggro back at them.
Gotcha.
Next round was another local who was playing the Crimson Warrior Goku. Just another blue matchup, long grinding matchup. Cited in the twins that was going to help me win the game, and so
and it did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. You had me on the edge of my seat here.
No. Oh yeah. No. Yep. Twins helped, and they are just going to. Blue was also just like playing their floodgates. He had Oceanus, which, if you're going to make me play a longer game, I'm fine with that. I'm going to be able to just make more plays of my own that are stronger. So
for sure.
Yeah. Then round 3 was Yellow Trunks Vegeta. That is a tricky matchup, I would say, for this deck, just because
pretty difficult.
Yeah. I mean, they have a Trunks and they get a Poutine out there. They're tapping down 2 things every turn. That one I definitely rely a lot on the limiter disengaged, the 5-drop blocker. That just untaps itself at the end of your turn.
Yeah,
relied on that, and also relied on the Android 18 Full of Rages to help me just bring something in, eat up the autos on Trunks and Poutine, bounce it back to my hand, so I'm free to play my other cards without them being tapped.
That is pretty smart. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you end up using Kaba or Kimujita in that matchup too?
I sighted them in, never saw them.
Okay, never mind.
Yep. Yes.
Next round it is. No.
Yep. Definitely had them in there. Definitely was like, that's the plan for was the plan for those cards, to get rid of those barrier cards. Didn't come up. Either way, I still got the round, even though those rounds did go into time. But it was just in my favor whenever time was called. So
gotcha. Okay.
Round 4 was one of our locals who was playing Green Cooler. That's another difficult matchup, just because all of their stuff can just kill anything I'm trying to play, whether it be with Frieza Charismatic Villain or the Knees Unison. That's also counterplay, just pop something.
It's basically 8 counterplay Friezas.
Yes, yeah. And that's a little hard to kind of go around. The way that he was playing it, he was being a little bit more aggro with it. He didn't have much of the hand destruction.
Oh, okay.
Which, sure, with Android 16, that's not a big deal if you have a low hand size, because you get to use your drop area to combo. But with how aggressive Green Cooler can get, it's nice to have a few extra cards in hand. So I think that definitely helped me out in those matches.
Okay. And the last round?
Round 5 was against a red GT Goku.
Okay.
Yeah. That is another bit of a tricky matchup, just because I haven't played against it a whole lot since it's come out. But red can hurt this deck just by the amount of Yamchas that they are able to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, just red in general is super annoying.
Yeah. So yeah, just kind of relying a little bit more on my 20k guys, so they have to work just a little bit more to minus them off. And I mean, sure, I could sit on Zamasu, but Zamasu can just get minused away as well. But yeah, I'd say in those matches, they were also pretty grindy matches. A lot of them, in a few of these matches, what they came down to is my opponent tapping their energy out, like in the GT matches, tapping out to play their big triple attacker, the 8-drop, out of their little spaceship. But me having 4 energy open on their turn, I could go into the 4 cost arrival, the 16, bring up 21, KO the thing,
right?
And that swung it huge back in my favor to where I could clean up the next turn.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
especially the crit. Okay. What was top cut?
Top cut. So in top 8, I played against the same Trunks Vegeta that I played in rounds. Another just grind out. Still cited in the barrier removal stuff. Still never saw it.
Okay.
It's like they're in there, but they're not popping up.
I see.
Yeah. Again, that was another round that ended up going to time that swung to my favor. What helped me out in those matches too is that he went into his cell Xeno, but I had 4 energy open going into the 4 drop arrival, just killing the cell Xeno.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. Yep. Top 4, same green cooler from before. Was one of our local guys who made it up to top 4.
Okay.
Yep, pretty much same old song and dance for that one. Wasn't much else. Like I said, he was being a lot more aggressive on his big 3 drop golden coolers, getting that triple attack. But luckily that's what we have the limiter disengage for to activate battle, kill it, remove a marker. Now it's vanilla.
Just loses everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And
then finals was a different GT Goku.
Okay.
That one we ended up playing a full 3 games on. It was really back and forth. He always had the King Piccolo new ruler opening hand.
Oh boy.
Every game. So just turn 1 on his attacking turns, he's like pop down, swing double strike. I'm like,
yeah, that should
okay.
really have been printed with like 3 or more energy type thing. Like that's silly.
Yeah. Like, nope, just unison with 3 markers. Guess what can get that really easily?
Yep.
GT Goku. Yeah. Yeah, on that one it came down to it. He was on his last turn in game 3. I was able to get 4 energy untapped from a combination of D magics and Sensu beans. He was at 1 life and critted him down with that last life during his turn.
Very nice.
By playing the Bad Omen. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. All in all, really good games. A lot of them ended up going to time or just really grinding out, going back and forth. But they were a lot of really good games.
That's good. Yeah, time is definitely an ongoing thing in the card game right now. I think, and we would we'll probably be here for an hour talking about time. I feel like so.
Yeah. Especially with the way the rules are now.
Yeah, let's not do that.
There's a lot of strong opinions on it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, kind of really talked about all the matchups and which ones were a little bit easier and difficult and tricky. Do you think you're going to make any changes before this? Do you think you're going to continue to play it?
One thing I do want to toy around with a little bit is the new 17 and 18 that came out of the new set. The
dual attacker.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I kind of want to play around with that a little bit more. Just being able to get that removal on anything that has higher energy than current is really good.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely want to play around with that a little bit more.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's cool. Great job overall. I think I think that covers pretty much everything. What are your closing thoughts or maybe even shout outs?
Yeah, I mean, overall it was a really good turnout. This was the first event that our locals has been able to host. So it was like overall, even though we were aiming to get 40, we still had 35 people. That's still really good, really good for us. And shout out to our local store, Collectomaniacs, for giving us the space to play and to host this big tournament out of, and also to Alex, our main head judge, for helping us set all this stuff up and being able to get these big tournaments out there. And hopefully we can get more people coming in.
For sure. Okay. Very awesome. Thank you for your time again.
Thank you.
Anyone with questions, concerns, comments, whatever, leave it in the comments below. Like, dislike, subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.